and get out on a saw and an axe. What were you saying over there? Hey, bud.
Hey,
What are you doing?
I was just seeing what you were doing.
Well, I got a roll of chain here, so I cut my own chain. And I'm old school, friends. I can't deny it. I don't have a real great system for this, but I do have the tools. So I cut my own chain. And I eye it up. I'm cutting 105 driver, friends. So what I do, I line the chain up so there's one driver like this. And then they all line up. Every single one of them lines up, except there's one free one at the top. See that?
Yes.
So there's one there. So I just go to S. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. 2, 4, 6, 8, 20. 2, 4, 6, 8, 30. 2, 4, 6, 8, 90. 2, 4, 6, 8, 100. That is hilarious. 102, 104. So I'm on the money. It is. And I think it's because I've done it so many times, I kind of know the length. But we always count twice, friends. Always count twice. 6, 8, 100, 102, 104 drivers. It's right there. So I cracked that sucker right there. So you get your links. Put your links together. So now we put this in here. And I like to use a little screwdriver because my system, again, is kind of foobar. Here we go. Bring this in. And now this is where this goes. You double hand it. Make sure that's in there, which it is. See that? And what that does is it does that. It smashes that rivet flat. It's an interesting system.
Mm-hmm.
See them stick out a bit?
Yeah.
A little teeny bit? See them sticking out? Or not?
They look similar. Well, actually, yeah, a little bit.
So you know what I'll do there? I can put it in here and keep going. Or I sometimes go like this. I'll just come over here. I'll literally lay this across here, this little piece of steel, and I'll give it a smack. I don't need to in this case, but I'm showing you, if you're struggling and you're getting into this, you can just come over and round them over. Just like that. You just have to be careful you don't get too tight because you want this to go like this. Right? That's what you want. So we're golden. Let's go put this on the power saw. You'll hear people ask, I get asked a lot, what chain do you use? Well, I am 100% a EXL man. I'm an Oregon man. I ran still years ago, friends, and it was nice. It kept a nice corner, but it's almost like, oh yeah, Oregon's corner. You can see. I can show this. I can show it. I used to be a fan of still chain, and I'm not anymore. But I grind and round file, but I grind for fallen, right? Symington grind. So you used to be able to get a really good corner with the still chain. And that means where the side and the top plate meet. This is still chain. And I'll show you what I mean. Okay, you'll see how shiny the top, where the side meets the...
Yep.
The corner is that. That's the corner. And it used to be different. And if you look at this, it's going to be similar, but the Oregon, for some reason, I know it's hard to see that, Luke, isn't it?
I'm getting a decent shot of it. It's a little bit shinier on the still.
Isn't it, though? This holds an edge. I love my EXL. This is actually still chain. The chrome is different on the still chain. You can actually see it, Luke. Can you see the difference in color?
Yeah.
Still chain has different chrome. It's different chrome. And it's fine. But I like EXL. Much better. So we're starting out with a stock EXL. We just put it together. We'll get our 105 drivers on here. We'll roll this sucker together. And hopefully we measured the chain right, which we did. Look at that, friends. There it is, 105. She's on. Take a look at our measurement here. If we're a little tight, we back it off a little bit so that when we go to put this on, it just goes on. Bang. This is a wild saw. This is the Scotty Wilson, friends, 86er. We've got his first one in a box. It's a holiday here. I think it's BC Day or something, isn't it, Luke?
Yes.
So we've got it all boxed up, ready to go with a couple axes that are going out today too, or tomorrow. So this is a brand new chain. I talk about this lots, but I just, you know, you're gonna get stretch. So just give it an extra little tweak on your first grab.
Do you run it brand new like that, or do you got to file it once?
Well, we're down in some dirty firewood, so I actually should be running skip. But I'll clean the wood. I will take a few minutes to clean the wood down there, and I know we're going to have rocks.
Yeah.
I just know it. So really a guy should be running skip down there. I think I'll bring this with us. It's a skip tooth still chain that I ground, but I think I could hand file that out really quick only because there's only one grind on it. So this is still skip tooth chain. So I'll throw that on the dashboard. It's going to be dirty down there, Luke.
Okay.
But still, I enjoy a full house. Now, what I may do, a lot of guys, depending on what kind of a cutting scenario they're going into, I'm not falling. This will be interesting. Let me show you something. I have 3 raker gauges here. They're all Carlton philo plates. I have a 404 plate here that a lot of guys used to run the 404 plate on 3/8 for falling. It's a hungrier raker. It's about 35 degrees, 35 thou, 36 actually. But there's 2 settings. So what I'm going to show you right now, this is a stock EXL chain. Stock. Let's look. Let's see what this is at. EXL cuts really good out of the box, so this is probably not necessary. Let's put this on here. This is, I already know this, is 22 degrees. It's 22,000th right here, look. Look at this. We're not even in the realm. You see what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So this is actually an interesting gauge for not so hungry chain. 22 degrees, 22 thou. Now, this one is an old school one, really old school. You can tell the metal's even tempered and weird. You'd never file this. It's solid, this one. Look at this. This is 28 thou. This is 28 thou. Now watch this. It's just nibbling it. Just nibbling. Look at, not even. So, isn't that interesting?
That is interesting.
So, these out of the factory, here's the Husky plate. Here's the Husky plate. There's the hardwood setting. It won't even be in the realm. Softwood. Are folks seeing this? See, friends? So, to me, this is super interesting. Now, here's the 404 gauge, the philo plate. Brian was wondering, we were talking about it, how this sits in there. Oh yeah, look at this. We're in it already.
Oh yeah.
We're in it. We're on it. Now watch this. Boom. Now we're like, that would take off a lot.
Right.
So you need power with this setting. Look at this. I like this. I like this setting. This is a really cool gauge. It's a 404, okay? It says right on it. 40408. So you no longer, I like sharing this information, friends, because it's only learned by time. Now, Luke, what I'm going to do, because we're cutting firewood and we're not in big wood,
Yep.
I'm going to hit this first setting.
Okay.
I know that this bottom setting, the B, there's an A and a B.
Yeah.
This is going to be hungry, so I'm not going to go there. I'm going to go here. And it's barely touching the raker. But it is. See that?
Yep.
So this is going to change business here on the firewood game. We switch over. right? You hear that squeak, friends? If you want to get away from that squeak, turn your file on a 45 like this. Hey? I love this gauge. A lot of guys will just flip it over, right? And go like this. So they'll flip it over and they'll put it on like this. And they'll go this way, right? And then they'll flip it over and file the other way. I don't do it. I file all one way. And this gauge is why I like this. So this is going to be interesting. Yeah, this'll actually be quite nice. But won't this be interesting? So I would think that this first setting, Brian says he likes the lower setting.
Really?
Yeah, one? It's how he likes her hungry.
Wow.
But for fallen, it depends on the wood you're in. If you're in cedar, go for it. But mountain hemlock, you're going to want to stay off that. Hear that noise, Luke?
Yep.
So that's just the other side of the tooth, right? But notice how this goes into that notch there, Luke? See that?
Yeah.
Okay, let's go here. Let's go to my old school gauge and see what happens. So I think this would probably have been good enough. This one. Mm-hmm. This is 28 thou. So this, I would almost believe that this would be 30 thou. Look at that. Wow. That's some material, brother. Mm-hmm. Just file your rakers on an angle, friends, like this. On a 45. Because if you go straight across like this, listen to this.
Oh.
Right? But all you do is you turn like this. And it leaves you. It leaves you alone.
If we were going into hardwood right now, would you be worried about what you're doing to it now?
The hardwood guys, they cut hungry.
Yeah.
Yeah, everyone I've been with, they cut hungry.
Okay.
They get a new chain, they take 2 swipes off her right now. You hardwood cutters, tell me. I know they run a hungry chain, or you're not cutting anything, you're bouncing off it. The wood's different down there.
Okay.
But they do a lot of back barring, Lukey.
Right.
Whereas we're more of a pulling chain program up here. You know what I mean by that?
Yeah, so it helps.
Well, back barring it's a little harder on the saw. It's a bore cut scenario. It's the bore cutting, so they're getting a lot of this
right.
You know, kick. You see that a lot in bore cutters. Not all the time, but you do. You see it more than on a pulling chain.
Right.
So a hungry chain for bore cutting is not good. You know what I mean? That's where you'll get that machine gun. It's not good for anything. It'll break saws. It'll break your arms. It'll wear you down, especially back barring. You're being pushed away from your work all day. There's a time and a place for back barring, but remember, they have a different cutting system than us.
Yeah.
All their money's in their lower log.
Right.
Where we're not like that here. Most of our stuff, believe it or not, a lot of our stuff gets long butted. Mm-hmm. For select timber, it gets long butted. Let's go.
Alrighty. What have you got now?
This is the Scott Wilson 86er number 2. 86er number 1 is on its way back to Scott Wilson's place because of erraticness. It does strange things. It's time to go back because he has not perfected, but pretty freaking close. His third one that is in a friend of mine's hands, amazing. I knew it when I fired it at my house. It came to my house, then it went to Ian. And I knew right when I fired it, it was going to behave. I could tell. So I can't let this one go yet. It's too nice. It's a bit of a tough start. cut beautiful.
Yes, it did.
Dirty wood. We're in dirty wood, friends. But at least we're getting it opened up for Hogan. He just got back out of camp there a few days back, and he's got a bit of time off so he can get going on his woodshed, and we can help out, and just family helping family. It's what we do. But it's green, Lukey.
Yep.
The wood's green, so
Yep.
we got to get it opened up. Guy could almost go for a dip in that salt chuck right now,
I
couldn't
was
he?
thinking about it.
Anyway, thanks, Luke, for doing that. That 592. Listen, I had a guy just email me. I forget your name, buddy, but you emailed me and you said, listen, Buck, and I'm in Australia, and I got some bigger wood to cut, and you asked me if you should get a 572 or a 372 and get it ported, or just buy a 592. And I said, brother, the 592 is a monster, and it is going to serve you all your, like you just saw what I done with it here. I just bucked from 4-inch to 24-inch gloriously.
Consistent.
Consistent, Luke. It's got everything. So if you don't mind, if you know how to pack a power saw, believe it or not, friends, they're not that heavy, and I'll show you what I mean by that. I've talked about this, and I talk about it at my events all the time. Tree workers pack power saws, and homeowners pack saws a little bit differently than fallers do. Whenever we can, we're like this. Always. Our tip is always on something. And you'll rarely see us just kind of holding a saw like this with our arms bent, right? Or out like this. We're like this, friends. These things hang off us. You look at most, professional guys, the big saws aren't that heavy because you're either in the wood, right? We use our legs a ton, friends. And I will say this, a wrap bar helps you with a big saw. It helps you dissipate weight with a wrap bar. So it's just, you become a different saw man, and you become the saw feels different with a wrap bar. I'm just going to say it does. So I've explained this at events I go to, Bunyan and Buck and Stock, that this is how we pack these saws. You'll notice we're kind of like this. We're not like this, and it's hard to explain, but once you do it and give it a shot, you'll understand that really the long bar is usually on the wood. It's usually on the wood, and believe it or not, friends, your legs, I use my legs steady. You'll see me, I'm freaking rolling, limbing. I'm using my legs. I use this thing as a cane in the bush. I will literally use the saw as a cane. Every time I can, my tip is down. Every single moment. What were you saying over there? Yeah, you just give me a sec. Look at it. It's different than, what were you saying? It's so different. Yeah. So these, if you've got big wood to cut, and I would rather have a big saw that's going to cut big wood than, you know what I mean? Once in a while you run into a big log. Well, you can get away with a 562 now and again. But if you're in consistent big wood and it's smaller once in a while, go big block. Just go big block. This will pack any bar you can throw at it. Lukey, this thing with an 8-pin?
Oh, it found another gear. It
found another gear. It's what it needed. And there was some fellas that recommended it in the comment section. Thank you. I don't do a lot of, sprocket swapping, because I run usually 70cc class. This is a 90cc class. It can handle the bigger sprockets. So that was a great suggestion, and thank you for that. So there we go. Not the greatest wood, but it was free. And we got to run some saw today, Lukey, and loosen the rib up a little bit. Yeah. It's coming.
How you feeling?
Not bad.
Good.
Yeah, not bad. It's a rib, right? So they take a bit. I don't know what I did to it. I didn't go for no x-rays. I just know it's sore. So that right there, I believe that is one of the best power saws on the market right now. Hands down. The 592 XP auto-tune saw. When I put that 8-tooth on there, it didn't four-stroke once. Maybe now and again, just a little bit when I was on it. But that has a lot to do with the operator too, Lukey, and chain, and a sharp chain. Lots of people ask me. Guy actually asked me that question. Buckin, how come you didn't four-stroke with that 7-tooth sprocket? Well, that's a sharp chain and an experienced trigger finger. That's all. You cut when you're on the wood, not when you're not on the wood. So You'll get that little blap now and again when you're shifting from piece to piece or this and that, but you should not have that noise going on. So anyway, thanks again, Luke, for following us around here.
Of course.
Your camera work has been a big benefit to the channel. So thank you, buddy.
Appreciate it.
Friends, work hard, be honest, and be kind. And get out on a saw and an axe and get out in the bush, breathe some fresh air, get barked up. Feel good when you do something physically. I'm talking to young men right now. All men, all women, but mainly young men. There is a whole freaking world out there waiting for you. You can make a living. You can buy a pickup and a lawnmower and a power saw and a weed eater. And if you're thinking that you can't find work or you don't want to work at the coffee shop with the hairnet on, which there's nothing wrong with doing, it's a noble practice. But if you want to get, you can make a living with your body. You can make a living with your body. When I was 27 years old, I said, I am going to cut firewood and sell firewood for a living. That's what I'm going to do. I was 27. Here we are, freaking 28 years later, or whatever it is now. Anyway, enough ramble. See you on the next video.